What you doing, Otaku? I'm the AC, and lately I kind of just been waiting for my anime queue to fill up. I'm at about 10 animes so far. Usually I'm a little over 20. So instead of talking about what anime I've been watching, I happened to catch a new movie called The Island of Giant Insects, which came out on Crunchroll a few days ago. They had an OVA, which I also watched just to see and compare if there's any differences. But first, let's talk about The Island of Giant Insects. First of all, calling it a movie is very generous. I don't know if there's supposed to be more, if there's going to be more movies. Maybe Crunchyroll for some reason only put out half a movie because that's kind of what it feels like. I don't know. I tried to look up more into it, see what I could find. I couldn't find anything about it. The fact that they released it on Crunchroll seemed to be a surprise anyways, because I'm pretty sure they're releasing the movie in Japan in theaters. So I don't know what's up with it. It's very short. I think it was an hour and 12 minutes, something around there. It seemed like they could have just easily added another 45 minutes, finish the story, but I've never read the manga. I don't know how long the story goes on, but it definitely just felt like it wasn't complete. And the OVA is about 23 minutes. It starts 16 minutes in the movie, and it's pretty much the exact same thing also. So if you were wondering if you should watch both, don't just watch the movie. It's not a bad movie. It's not a great movie. You can find some enjoyable stuff in it, especially if you want to be the one making fun of it, because I kind of was doing that while I was watching. And one of the big reasons is because of the main character, Musumi. She loves studying bugs ever since she was a little girl, and she also has a friend, maybe more, who is the class president named Chitose. So once I finished watching this movie, I realized the entire movie is pretty much one weird wet dream of Musumi's. This is why. So like I said, she loves insects. She probably loves Chitose. So she ends up on this island full of giant insects. And throughout the movie, there's other scenes. Chitose gets kidnapped by a giant bug. She goes to rescue her. Now, on their way to go rescue her, they run into other people who could use help. Misumi gives zero shits about other people. In fact, when they find other people that they could at least try to help, she says nothing about helping people. But once they start killing these larvae, she's like, no, don't kill the larvae, they just babies. And she, doesn't give a fuck about the other people. And then when they see someone else being flown away by this mud wasp, and one of the guys go after her, she's like, and she doesn't give a fuck. She only cares about Chitose. That's all her mind's risking on her. And it's like, yeah, okay, but you still could try to help other people, but she doesn't even give a thought at all. In fact, instead of helping one person, she just uses them as a sacrifice so she could get away and the rest of the group, even though, yeah, that person was kind of fucked to begin with. And then there's, more kind of erotic scenes, I guess. So there's a part where they're bathing or whatever, and she's washing this comatose, paralyzed Chitose in the water. She's just washing them, and the excuse was they needed to wash off the ticks. But they're completely naked. If there were any of these giant ass ticks on them, they was solemn after that. There was not really any point. But anyway, so she's just washing her. I was like, okay, well that's one. This unnecessary washing. And then the second part is when she's like, okay, we need to give them the saline solution to help try to, revitalize them, blah blah blah, get any eggs out. And she's like, oh well, I guess we gotta transfer it through the mouth. And I mean, yeah, they may have, but it's just these. Oh, I guess we gotta keep being physical, and it's like, oh, I only care about Chitose, and it's like giant insects, and she cares more about the insects getting hurt than the actual people getting hurt. So yeah, overall, this movie is a giant wet dream, I'm assuming, and it's just funny to make fun of because it could be better. It's not awful, but they could have put more work. And like I said, I never saw the manga, read the manga. I didn't really know anything about this until I watched the movie. But it sounded cool. It sounded a lot cooler than it actually is. Giant insects, that sounds like it's going to be badass. And you do get to see some of the insects. You see these giant butterflies that suck nutrients out of people, and they pretty much just shrivel up. And then you see these mud wasps that fly around, stab, sting, whatever with their stinger, paralyzes their prey. These giant hard ticks that converge onto people and pretty much will completely cover them. Even though you would think after that many ticks, the ticks are just kind of ticking onto all the other ticks. Then you see a parasite bug, I don't remember the name of it, if it had a name. And then this giant ass stops and fly, who seems to be like the boss, the climactic battle near the end. But there's also a few other scenes to make fun of. One, I already mentioned the bathing scene. It was ridiculous, no point in it. And then there's a part where the Dobson fly, I guess, chops someone in half, rips off their head. The guy who is infected with the parasite, you can't really tell because they black out all the gory stuff. And you literally just see him fall from the tower and half the screen is black. The other half is nothing but like the tower and a little bit of his legs. And I was like, okay. What could have been one of the coolest parts is censored because of gore, I guess. Well, that kind of ruined that. Then there's one more really dumb scene. Masumi is just walking down this hallway. There's like this kind of like supposed to be intense kind of rock music. It's supposed to be really dramatic. So for it lasts way too long. It just goes on. And it's just her walking, then it's a close up, then it's back to her walking, then it's back to a close, and it's like I could look away, look at my phone, not even pay attention to it, and look back, and she was still walking. And for absolutely no reason. She doesn't do anything. Like, after she's finished watching, she's just back with the group talking about the plan. That's fucking ridiculous. It was fucking stupid. That is, of all the other things happened, that part was definitely just straight up stupid. Whatever. I could make fun of this movie a whole lot because the silly stuff definitely outweighs anything that could have been cool. There was one part about the movie I really liked because it kind of is not really a change, but it leads you to suspect one thing. It turns out to be different. So, there's a guy named Kai. He's kind of a background character. He kind of is like hunched most of the time. He looks kind of sleazy, and he doesn't really do anything helpful for the longest time. He kind of just seems to be agreeing with this big leader wannabe dude who thinks he's cool, whatever. And he seems to just be agreeing, but he seems, somewhat logical. Like, what he's saying makes sense. It just seems like he's not actually the one making the thoughts. He's just kind of tagging along with everything else. And then it's not until they reach a hospital and he goes wandering off on his own. And then later there's a part where the other guy and then this just bitch of a woman are about to, molest, rape Chitose while she still can't really move. And then right before that happens, Kai comes up and knocks them both out. I was like, cool. He did something cool. It turns out he's not sleazy. Turns out he's really helpful. Because then he figures out how to get the power on. He does all the, technology stuff that they need to end up killing the Dobson fly. So it turns out he's actually seems like a pretty cool thing. I would like to see more of what he does. But there's one thing that was never made clear, is when he goes off and starts, exploring, he screams and he seems to find something weird. It never showed what it was. And that he says like, oh yeah, I screamed because I got surprised or scared or something, but it doesn't ever show what it was. So maybe that's a future thing that comes up later. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe there is more to it. Maybe they really did only put part of the movie out. Maybe there's going to be another movie, but like I said, it seems just like a long episode more than an actual movie. I would like to see more of what just happened since I already watched it. I would like to see what else they're going to do. But we'll have to wait and see what that is. One more thought besides the movie. So Crunchyroll is doing their anime awards of all their different categories. The results come out February 15th, but the voting lasts until January 17th. So there's almost a month in between voting ending and the results. Don't know why, but you should go vote on that. Vote on your favorite guy, gal, openings, soundtracks, voice actors, all that stuff and whatever. I already voted on mine. Before the awards, I'll probably make a video saying what my votes were. But until then, let me know what you think about all this. Either the awards, either the Island of Giant Insects. Did you watch it and like it? Do you think it was as silly as I did? I don't know. Let's talk about it. But like this video if you like what I said. If you want to disagree or agree with it, regardless, subscribe to my channel so you can see the other otaku stuff I plan on talking about and doing and whatnot. But regardless, thank you for watching. I'm the AC. Bye.